I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers stay as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome back to A Course in Miracles in Practice. We are so grateful that you've joined us for Season 2. We're going to be moving a little deeper into the ideas that really hold up the daily practice.
It's great to be having this conversation again. And for anyone who was with us for Season 1, you'll remember we were very focused on the moment-to-moment application of the workbook lessons.
And we should probably say right at the start, everyone comes to this material differently. You might be following the workbook day by day, or maybe you just listen in when a certain topic catches your interest.
Mm-hmm.
Any of those ways are perfectly fine. You're exactly where you need to be.
And that's really the main shift for this season. We're sort of taking a step back from the daily how-to and looking more at the core ideas.
Right.
So today, as we talk about the thinking behind lessons 8 through 14, we're not doing a review. We're not going lesson by lesson.
We're trying to get at the one big idea that connects that whole section of the practice.
And that one big idea boils down to one simple question.
Which is?
Where am I placing the cause of what I'm experiencing?
You know, it's funny you say that because in my own early experience, I heard that question and thought, okay, that's a philosophy question. That's something you debate in a college dorm room.
Yeah, it sounds abstract.
But I think I overlooked how important it was for so long because that answer always followed the same pattern. It was always, okay, an event happened out in the world and then my feeling happened inside me as a direct result. It just seemed so logical.
The situation is the explanation.
And it feels so unquestionable because the emotions themselves are so strong. I mean, if you feel that knot of fear in your stomach, the sheer force of that feeling makes the external thing, the person, the comment, the bill, seem like the undeniable cause.
It's like the intensity of the feeling is what proves the external cause is real.
And then right around lesson 8, the course says, okay, your experience definitely has a source. We agree on that. But that source is your own mind. It's not the incident you're pointing your finger at.
And this is where the mind immediately starts to build a wall.
Yeah.
I remember reading that and just accepting it as a nice theory, but, with a lot of exceptions.
Oh, for sure. I put it in the small stuff box. Like, okay, maybe my annoyance at the long grocery line.
Yeah.
Maybe that's coming from my mind.
Right.
But my boss really did say that thing in the meeting. I just thought there was no way this idea could be taken literally across the board.
And that's a totally natural resistance. But the real challenge begins when you just start to observe without judging.
That's when it all started to shift for me. I began to notice the repetition. I was playing out the exact same internal reaction in completely different scenarios.
So you mean different places, different people, but the internal feeling was identical.
Identical. Whether I was stuck behind a slow driver or a friend canceled plans or I made a stupid mistake. The external facts were totally unrelated. And that's the tell, isn't it? Because if the cause were really external, the feeling would change when the situation changed. But it never did. The external event just didn't have enough power to explain the sheer intensity of the feeling. That was the moment it clicked for me. I saw my reaction wasn't being created by the incident. It became this form I could use to project an emotion that was already there, just waiting for a place to land. And when you see that, it completely reframes the whole idea of conflict. It brings it all back inside.
And this is where we have to touch on that misunderstanding. If conflict is internal, the Course must be asking us to ignore what's happening.
Yes, I really worried about that. I thought it meant I had to pretend I didn't see what I saw, or that I didn't hear that thing that was said. It felt a lot like being asked to deny my own reality.
But the workbook is doing something much more subtle and I think much more useful. It separates the physical event.
Which happened. It definitely happened.
It absolutely occurred. It separates that from the meaning you assign to it, the meaning that was actually generated inside your mind.
The story about the event, the story that says I must feel like a victim, that part is optional. When I started to see it that way, I looked back at all the energy I had spent defending my anger, justifying my anxiety, it all started to seem so misplaced.
And that's usually the moment when we try to jump straight into fixing it. We think, okay, the cause is internal. I get it. Now I have to police all my thoughts and force myself to be peaceful.
Oh, I did that. Constantly monitoring myself.
The workbook isn't actually asking you to control your feelings,
It's just asking you to notice.
just to recognize, to neutrally see where your mind is pointing the finger. That's all.
And it is so fast. My mind instantly names the cause, the politician, the other driver, the economy, before I've even fully registered the feeling itself. And that, I think, explains the really deep resistance we feel to this idea. Because if the cause isn't external, then all of our coping strategies, the blaming, the justifying, the arguing, the fantasizing about getting even, they all just fall apart. They don't make sense anymore.
You're just left sitting with the feeling itself, whatever it is, without that easy outlet of blame.
And when you take that away, it creates this pause. At first, it felt so weird to me, just sitting with the anger with nothing to do with it.
It's disorienting for sure. The mind wants to act. But eventually, that pause becomes familiar. It becomes this really valuable moment where you can finally just watch the mind's habits instead of being run by them.
And the really beautiful part is how non-judgmental the Course is about it. The pause isn't for beating yourself up. It's just for observation. So these early lessons keep bringing us back to the same place, which is just attention, not solutions, not answers, just noticing what the mind is doing. How does it explain things? Where does it say the responsibility lies?
So we'll pause our own conversation here, and we're not going to try to wrap it up with a neat conclusion. We really want to leave this idea open for you, just for your own observation.
Right, so we're just going to leave you with that one central question. As you go about your day today, just notice, where are you placing the cause of your experience right now?
And this is the most important part. There is absolutely nothing you need to do about that question.
Just notice. Notice the immediate automatic answer your mind gives when something, anything happens today.
We'll pick up on this idea next time. Thanks so much for listening.